Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we completed the islet cave, and after taking out Sentinel we obtained a brand new summon. This time we're going to finish everything that's left to be done at Treasure Isle. But before we do that, off screen I did a little bit of grinding, so everybody is either level 44 or 45, 46. And the reason that I wanted to go to this particular level is because at level 46 Mia learns Pure Wish, which is hands down the best healing synergy in the game. And it basically restores at the very least 400 HP. Also, I used a few of the RNGs and I got a couple of Tisiphone edges. I give one to Jenna and the other to Ivan. So other than that, not much else to say. So let's quickly get to the treasure isle. As you can see, we're already at the last room that we visited, that we couldn't advance any further because we didn't have lift. But luckily now we do. We're going to leave that stamp for later. And here we got the Iris rope. And this is actually quite a useful piece of equipment that I want to give to Mia. And I'll explain why in a second. So the Iris rope. It has a defense boost of 47 and it has 3 side effects. The first one is that it boosts Mars resistance by 30 points, then it boosts lag by 15 points, and it also provides a passive synergy recovery of 12. So overall a fantastic rope, one of the best in the game I would say. And if you combine the recovery, the synergy recovery of the Iris rope with the Psychic Circlet, Mia pretty much recovers 24 synergy at the end of every turn. So you can just use Pure Wish eternally. You will never run out of synergy. So yeah, I really want to have that particular setup for the battle ahead. Ah yeah, I forgot that I was actually using a void, so that is why we were not running into any enemies. But hopefully we will, because there are a couple of new enemies. And we also have a Jupiter gene right there. So let's get to it quickly. So the room here is rather similar to the one that we saw in the Shaman Village cave. And unfortunately, if we want to get the Jupiter gene, we will then have to reset the room in order to actually proceed further. But for now, let's worry about him. Here we have Gale. It is level 36, it has 980 HP, 92 synergy, 309 attack, 97 defense, 277 agility and 31 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Jupiter gene. It normally yields 1197 experience points, which then become 1556 if we finish it off with a Venus gene. It drops 756 coins, which then become 982. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Sonic Slash, Distract Ray, Tempest, Spark, Plasma, and the Flee command, of course. Alright, so let's see here. I also forgot to mention. I traded Gene a bit between Isaac and Garrett so that they both would be at the final rank of the Brute, which I will not go into detail until much later. But the reason I did this is because, well, there are a couple of synergies that I actually wanted to showcase, and I couldn't really do that in the battle against Sentinel. So we will be using Planetary against the boss of the Treasure Isle, but for now let's see what we can do about this Jin right here. Let's slow him down, and actually he should be able to survive maybe 2 planetaries, and we'll leave it at that. Alright, how much is that? Yeah, he will absolutely survive that. And actually, if I rearrange the gene correctly, we may be able to have all Felix, Isaac and Garrett using Venus gene, offensive Venus gene at the same time. Let's see. Okay, we do have Sap, Actually, just to be safe, let's use Pedro, because it might try to run away. Well, there we go. Shiva found the Jupiter Gene Gale. Alright, so Gale, not only is it the last Jupiter Gene, it is the last gene. We now have obtained all of the 72 gene in the game. But for now, let's quickly go over Gale. Its battle effect is that it deals a Jupiter based attack that is equal to the user's standard physical attack with an added 60 points of damage, and it may remove the target from the battle. However, if you remove a target from combat, it is not the same as killing it, because you will not receive any EXP or coins. So do keep that in mind. Okay, so we got Gale. Now we do have to... Actually, before we reset the room, we can actually get one more thing. Because right here, we have a chest. And it contains the Firebrand, which of course is an artifact weapon. Let's quickly go over it, shall we? The Firebrand has an attack boost of 176 Mars, its unleash is called Purgatory, it deals 67 extra Mars damage and it may inflict sleep. Alright, so now we can go ahead and reset the room. And hopefully we'll run into some of the new enemies, because there are actually quite a bunch of them. So in order to proceed further, we have to go all around. Well, we'll leave that for later. For now, we have the first new enemy. We have the Puppet Warrior. It is level 36, it has 310 HP, no synergy, 469 attack, 180 defense, 125 agility and 22 luck. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 100, a Jupiter resistance of 25 and a Mercury resistance of 152. And it has a Venus elemental power of 100. It normally yields 555 experience points, which then becomes 721 if we finish it off with a Jupiter gene. It drops 283 coins, which then become 367, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop a Psy Crystal. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Power Crush, Monster Skill, and the Defend command. And we actually have a bunch of them. So let's actually go take them out with regular weapons. Also, I forgot, Mia learned the Ice Missile synergy, I believe at level 42. Which is pretty much the best offensive synergy that the Water Seer will ever learn. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, we should be in the clear. Just have to go around through here and then we can proceed further. Yep. Also, I believe right around here, if you were playing on a normal save file, that is to say a save file in which you did not transfer over data from the first game, you would find a spare Venus gene right here. And that pretty much completes all of the spare gene, which as I mentioned before is only one per element, unfortunately. So yeah. Let's continue on. Come on, no new enemies? Okay, here's the thing. As soon as we go through here, we will encounter the boss of Treasure Isle. But there are quite a couple of enemies that we haven't run into yet, and I really want to go over them. So I'll walk around for a couple of minutes, and if we don't see all of them, then I'll just go over them nonetheless. Because they do have a few interesting drops, if they ever appear. Come on. Really? I'll go ahead and well, I was going to say reset the stamp, but whatever. Well, here we have two of them. First off, we have the Great Seagull. It is level 36. It has 266 HP, no synergy, 411 attack, 93 defense, 206 agility, and 12 lag. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 127, a Mars resistance of 48, a Jupiter resistance of 7, and a Mercury resistance of 72. And it has a Jupiter elemental power of 110. It normally yields 363 experience points, which then become 471 if we finish it off with a Jupiter gem. It drops 211 coins, which then become 274, and there is a 1 in 64 chances, that then become a 1 in 16, that it will drop the Sylph Feather material. So yeah, we can get as many Sylph Feathers as we want. Unfortunately, it has pretty much the same issue as the Stardust. At this point it is rather useless, but if you do want a full set of gear from the Sylph Feather, well, there is an RNG for it, and I will be showing it near the end of the episode. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Wing Flutter monster skill. So, on to the other enemy. We have the Sea Hedgehog. It is level 36, it has 177 HP, no synergy, 402 attack, 160 defense, 188 agility, and 8 lag. It has a Venus and Mercury resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 48, and a Jupiter resistance of 100. And it has a Mercury elemental power of 85. It normally yields 319 experience points, which then become 414. If we finish it off with a Mars gem, it normally drops 145 coins, which then become 188, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop a potion. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Stun Sting monster skill. So yeah, these two are probably the weakest enemies in this particular section of Treasure Isle. Okay, so let's reset this and head back to the room before the boss. Maybe we'll encounter some other enemies on the way. Come on. This shouldn't be an issue like we had at the Shaman Village cave. I do think that enemies do spawn in this room. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Well, there we have one. There we have the Pedro. It is level 36. It has 384 HP, no synergy, 451 attack, 125 defense, 125 agility, and 14 lag. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mercury resistance of 175. And it has a Mars elemental power of 85 and a Mercury elemental power of 115. It normally yields 568 experience points, which then becomes 738 if we finish it off with a Mars gem. It drops 387 coins, which then become 503, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop the Salamander Tail material. Which I wouldn't say it is useless. You can get the Ardag Robe and the Flame Shield because the weapons are rather useless, I would say, at this point though. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Triple Chomp, Fire Breath, and Rising Venom monster skills. Alright. Okay, so we're only missing 2 enemies, and if they don't appear by the time I reach the door to the next room, I'll just go over them. I guess not. Anyways, so first off we have the Gilman Lord. It is level 36, it has 284 HP, no synergy, 456 attack, 136 defense, 174 agility, and 13 lag. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 72, and a Mercury resistance of 127. And it has a Mercury elemental power of 100. It normally yields 459 experience points, which then become 596 if we finish it off with a Mars gem. It normally drops 257 coins, which then become 334, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop the Tearstone material, and which has pretty much the same problems as the Stardust and Silk Feather. That is to say, it is pretty much useless. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Hydro Slash monster skill, and it may randomly use a Crystal Powder, of which it has up to 3. Right, and the final enemy before the boss is the Ocean Dragon. It is level 36, it has 473 HP, 32 synergy, 478 attack, 154 defense, 143 agility, and 16 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mercury resistance of 175, and it has a Mercury elemental power of 115. It normally yields 590 experience points, which then becomes 767 if we finish it off with a Mars Gear. It drops 307 coins, which then become 399, and there is a 1 in 128 chances that then become a 1 in 32 that it will drop the Triton's Ward gear, which I'll go into detail later. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Chill Breath monster skill, and the Deluge synergy. Alright, on to the Triton's Ward. It has a defense boost of 47, and it has 2 side effects, the first of which boosts Mercury power by 30 points, and the second boosts Mercury resistance by 70 points. So yeah, the Triton's Ward is pretty much an amazing piece of gear. Alright, now that we have gone over all of that, I believe we are now ready for the boss. I am the Guardian of Water. If you will claim my power, you must prove your worth. And here we have the third optional boss, and in my opinion, the second toughest, the Guardian of Water, Star Magician. But he is not alone. He has a bunch of companions. Let's go over them first, shall we? First off, we have the Anger Ball. It is level 46. It has 460 HP, 43 synergy. I don't know why, because it only has a monster skill, but it does have synergy. 357 attack, 125 defense, 173 agility, and 27 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 175, and a Mercury resistance of 25. And it has a Venus elemental power of 95. It will yield 387 experience points, and it will drop 30 coins. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Angry Mind monster skill, which is a Venus-based attack with a power rating of 300, which after use kills the Anger Ball instantly. Up next we have the Thunder Ball. It is also level 46, in fact all of the balls are, as well as the Star Magician. It has 280 HP, 43 synergy, of which it recovers 10 at the end of every turn, 329 attack, 125 defense, 219 agility, and 30 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 48, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 100, and a Jupiter resistance of 152. And it has a Jupiter elemental power of 110. It will yield 296 experience points and drop 243 coins. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Flashbolt, Storm Ray, and Shine Plasma synergies. Then we have the Refresh Ball. It has 360 HP, 43 synergy, which it also recovers 10 at the end of every round, 317 attack, 124 defense, 136 agility, and 36 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mercury resistance of 175. And it also has a Mercury elemental power of 115. It will yield 448 experience points and drop 379 coins. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Cure Poison Earnest Ply synergy, which is pretty much an exact copy of the Pure Ply, but for whatever reason it has a different name, and the Restore synergy. And then finally we have the Guardian Ball. It has 520 HP, 43 synergy, again I don't know why, because this one does not use any synergy, 317 attack, 127 defense, 292 agility, and 33 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 152, a Mars resistance of 100, and as well as Mercury, and a Jupiter resistance of 48. It will yield 439 experience points and drop 289 coins. As for its commands, it has the Guard Aura, which is a monster skill that reduces all damage taken by 90% for the duration of that turn, and it has a high priority, meaning that it will most likely go first, and then it has the Defend command. which would make this pretty much, I believe, the only enemy that does not have at least the basic attack command. But anyways, on to the Star Magician itself. It has 7486 HP, 560 synergy, 460 attack, 139 defense, 268 agility, and 52 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 130, a Mars resistance of 72, a Jupiter resistance of 150, and a Mercury resistance of 180. And it has a Jupiter elemental power of 95 and a Mercury elemental power of 105. It normally yields 7,866 experience points, which then become 10,225 if we finish him off with a Mars gene. It drops 5,566 coins, which then become 7,235, and it will not drop any items. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Mind Ball monster skill, which is a Mercury based attack with a 1.5 multiplier and a range of 5, the Mystic Call monster skill, which will summon a ball monster to join the battle, but only if one of the ball monsters currently out is defeated. He cannot have more than 4 balls out in front. And then it has the Spark Plasma and Mega Cool synergies. Alright, so here we have the third optional boss. And even though technically Star Magician is the one that you can fight first because you don't need to have teleport, I would argue that it is, out of the optional bosses in the Great Eastern Sea, I would say that he is the toughest. And there we can see the annoyance that is the Guardian Ball. So yeah, Star Magician takes pretty much no damage at all. Though this might actually be a good opportunity to go over the strategy. So Star Magician, as well as the last optional boss that we will encounter soon enough, is probably one of the enemies that has the most amount of different strategies, especially if you look at the wiki. But the one that I do have planned for him is the following. Out of all the different balls out, I would say that by far the most annoying are the Guardian Ball and the Refresh Ball. And the strategy that we have is to take out all of them while leaving the Thunderball, because the Thunderball, all it does is basically use Jupiter synergies. Other than that, it doesn't really do much. The thing that makes the Anger Ball a bit annoying is that its suicide move, which doesn't really deal that much damage, will leave open a spot for the Star Magician to fill in. So he may actually summon either a second Guardian Ball or another Refresh Ball, or just downright another Anger Ball. So we're going to be taking out all of the Guardian Balls until the Magician has created a specific setup that is basically only him and then 4 Thunderbolts. And then we will focus on him until he dies. So yeah, the Ball Companions is basically the gimmick for the Star Magician, which I do think is actually a good one. Alright, what is it? God damn it. Alright, so depending on whether we are lucky, this battle may be either short or annoyingly long, as was the case unfortunately for the Sentinel battle. Yep, we still don't have more than 1 Thunderbolt. Luckily, since we can pretty much continue using Pure Wish indefinitely, we will not go down easily. It does kind of bother me that Planetary is not enough to take out the Guardian Ball. Alright, come on. Come on! Though there's, I guess, one positive in this particular battle. The battle theme that the Star Magician has is Saturo's battle theme, which I would say is one of the better songs from the first game, so I do like that we do get a chance to listen to it once more. Alright, let's keep up. Mia will pretty much do the same for the entirety of the battle. Alright, come on. Can you please summon a Thunderbolt? No. Alright, since he is defenseless, and if he actually happens to... I believe he can only summon... I don't think I have ever seen him use Mystic Call twice in a row, so even if he does summon a Guardian Ball or a Refresh Ball, we do have a tactic in order to counter that, so we'll actually start attacking him for now. So how much damage does Planetary do? Almost 400, that's fine. So let's say that was 800. Let's call that 1500. Right, we do have to take out that refresh ball right away, or it will pretty much undo all of our work. Okay. All right, finally. Alright, so luckily the refresh ball has no priority, unlike the guardian ball, so we can just take him out normally. But just to be safe, let's use Pedro on it. And yeah. So almost 2000 damage on the Star Magician. And this is actually, I would say, one of the enemies in which the Summon Rush strategy is not advised, because the Guardian Ball can pretty much screw you over instantly. Though there are counters to the Guardian Ball. Petra or any Jin that has priority and can either immobilize it or take it out should be a decent counter to the Guardian Ball. Alright, so far so good. Let's keep on. Let's say 3100. Let's round up that value there just to be safe. Let's say we're at 3500 damage. Though I just realized that Isaac and Garrett are really starting to run low on synergy. That's fine, I can deal with the younger ball. Let's actually get Petra back, and Mia can just heal, as always. $3,900. $4,600, give or take. Uh-oh. Huh, I wonder, will the refresh ball actually get a turn? I really hope it doesn't. Huh, look at that, I actually did use Mystical twice in a row. That's fine actually. Okay, let's see. So, just to be safe, and since wait. Yeah, that's better. Just to be safe, on the off chance that it actually goes first, let's stun the refresh ball. Alright. This will be our last planetary because Isaac is about to run out of synergy. Let's get the Petra back, and Mia can just heal. 5400, let's say. $6100, give or take. Finally, we have the best possible setup. Though I do admit that it is kinda annoying to have to get hit possibly by Shine Plasma 4 times. But I do prefer it than having to deal with the Guardian and Refresh Balls. Alright, now we can fully go on the offensive. Even if I do get a triple damage Excalibur, I do think that the Magician should be able to survive this. So we'll do that, and then maybe we'll start using any margin that we have on hand. 63,000, let's say. Alright, almost slightly more than 7,000. Ooh, will that kill him? Well, that was a mess. That's fine. Well, at the very least, the battle did not drag on as long as the Balucar and Sentinel battles did. Though it is kind of annoying that I did not get the boost on the EXP and coins. Well, at least Felix leveled up. And here we have Felix can now summon Azul. To summon Azul, 4 Mercury and 3 Venus standby gene are needed. Alright, so we got ourselves a brand new summon. Let's quickly go over it, shall we? Azul, an awakened dragon from the deep. It requires 4 Mercury and 3 Venus gene. It has a base power of 330 Mercury. It has an HP multiplier of 21%. After it is summoned, it provides a power boost of 60 Venus and up to 100 Mercury, and it has a side effect that may stun the enemies. Alright, so with that we are pretty much done with Treasure Isle. All that's really left to do is to go over the 4, I believe, RNGs, and that will be all. Alright, so similar to what we did last time on the Yampi Desert Cave, we're going to do the RNGs for the forgeable material first. So this one is the RNG for the Tearstone, so we're looking for a Gilman Lord. And I do know for a fact that we should be running into one soon enough. There we go. So, of course we have to go first, and this is a rather familiar RNG by this point. It is Clayspire for Felix, Aura for Jenna, Stormray for Sheba, and then Frost for Pierce. Alright, and in this turn we'll have Felix attack the Puppet Warrior. I'll use Shine with Jenna on the Gilman Lord. Sheba can just defend, and just to be safe we'll have Pierce attack the Puppet Warrior. Alright, the Gilman Lord goes down, and the Puppet Warrior is absolutely crushed. Alright, so if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Tearstone. Alright, so that is the first RNG for a pretty much useless forgeable material, but whatever. Up next we have the Sylph Feather RNG. Alright, there we have the Great Seagull. So this RNG is rather easy as well. So it is Clayspire for Felix, Aura for Jenna, Ray instead of Stormray for Sheba, and then Frost for Pierce. Alright, then in this turn we'll have Felix attack the Sea Hedgehog. I'm hesitant of having Jenna attack since she has been actually going before Sheba a couple of times, so I'll have her defend. Then I'll use Whiz on the Great Seagull, just in the off chance that Whirl will actually trigger its insta-kill effect. And then we'll have Pierce attack the Sea Hedgehog. Alright, so if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Seal Feather. Alright, so that is another forgeable material RNG down. Up next we have the Salamander Tail RNG. Alright, there we have the Pyrodra and the Ocean Dragon. So this RNG is rather similar to the ones that we have been doing so far. So it is Clayspire for Felix, Aura for Jenna, Storm Ray for Sheba, and then Frost for Pierce. Alright, so for this turn we'll have Felix attack the Ocean Dragon. I'll use Shine with Jenna on the Pyrodra. Sheba can just defend, and just to be safe we'll have Pierce attack the Ocean Dragon. Alright, there we go. And Megiddo will absolutely crush the Ocean Dragon. Alright, let's see. So, if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Salamander Tail. Alright, so that is the last RNG for the forgeable materials in the Treasure Isle. Up next we have the Triton Sword RNG. Alright, there we have the Pyrodra and the Ocean Dragon. So this RNG is rather simple. It is Clayspire for Felix, Aura for Jenna, Storm Ray for Sheba, and then Frost for Pierce. Of course, always making sure to focus mostly on the Ocean Dragon. Alright, so for this second turn we'll have Felix attack the Pyrodra. Jenna, I'll have her use Shine on the Ocean Dragon. Sheba can just defend, and Pierce can attack the Pyrodra as well. So Shine is more than enough to take it out, and Megiddo will absolutely crush the Pyrodra. So if we did everything correctly, we should be getting the Triton Sword. There we go. Alright, so that is the last of the RNGs for the Treasure Isle. So we took out the Star Magician and obtained a brand new summon, and we also got the final Djinn. So next time we'll be heading back to Contigo, and after speaking with Master Hama we'll finally begin the exploration of the Anemos Sanctum. See you guys